Okay, should we start? Okay, so can you maybe tell us what your name is and how old you are?
Okay, so my name's Aaron Engelbrecht.
Yes.
29 years old.
Okay.
I'm originally from Joburg. I'm actually born in Joburg, but I grew up for 6 years in Cape Town.
So okay, so you're born in Joburg, and how long have you been back in Cape Town now? Have you been here the whole time?
No, my family came down to Cape Town.
Okay.
My mom's side of the family is here.
It's here. Okay.
Is here in Cape Town.
Yeah.
And I came down, got married eventually. Like I said, got married to my wife. She's
Yeah.
32, turning 32 now.
Yeah.
We got 2 kids together.
Okay.
She's pregnant now with my second one, actually. My first son is a year and a month old.
Okay.
We came down three days before Christmas.
That's last year, right? Do you mind just speaking a little bit louder so we can hear you?
Okay.
Sorry.
So I came down three days before Christmas. We both lost our jobs in Joburg.
Okay.
My wife was working as administrator for the same boss, and I was working in the garage as a mechanic.
Yeah.
Specialized in motorbikes for 5 years.
Okay.
So they broke in, they stole machines, tools, and material on top of it.
Yes.
So what happened was, my boss said, unfortunately, he cannot afford to pay me anymore.
Yes. That's in last year. It's quite recently,
That's
right?
last year,
Yeah.
yes, that's correct. And he said to me, I've got a talent, I've got a gift. Why don't I start my own thing?
Yeah.
So I got put together some tools in that, and I started with a little bit of services.
Yeah.
So due to us losing our jobs, we lost our place. We actually basically lost our whole household.
Yes.
Went down to mom and dad, her mom and dad. They didn't want to help us. We've been through hell.
Yeah.
So when we were working, there was people that robbed us.
Yeah.
They stole our wallet. They stole money from us. They stole our cards, our IDs, and they stabbed me in front of my family, my wife and my son.
Is this in Joburg now?
In
or is
Joburg.
Okay.
This is in Joburg.
So you were then living in a house or whatever, or you then
I was
already?
renting
Okay.
a room.
Yeah.
Basically like 2
Yeah.
little rooms with
Yes.
a toilet outside.
Yeah.
But it was all attached.
Okay.
But they said 2,000 rand for a month.
Yeah.
Where I said to him, okay, then why don't I do this? I can pay you daily, because every day I was working for myself.
Yeah.
So he said, no, he's happy with it. Now my wife gets a 350, I get 350. That's a SRD grants. Plus my son gets 500 rand on
Yes,
top of
that's
it.
right. Yeah.
Okay, so if we put it together, it's 1,200. So the guys that we were renting from, they said, no, it's fine. They're happy with it. You can pay. Because I said to them, I just lost my job. And then I said to them, look, I'm going to start working daily, and then I'll give you money as I go along. But end of the month comes, I'll pay you the 1,200 plus the 800. So he said, no, it's happy. They're happy with it. So then when I got back home to pay my 130 that I was owing for a week's rent, all my stuff was gone.
Okay.
I asked him, you just agreed with me. Oh no, you needed to be out because the owner of the house apparently got other people for the place where we were
Okay.
renting.
So they basically like robbed you. They were dishonest. Yes.
They were
Okay.
dishonest with us.
And then what happened after? So then you somehow came to Cape Town, right?
So then I started working, like I said, in
Yes.
between for myself. So
Okay.
we landed up on the streets in Joburg, made a few bucks because my wife and my son, the weather was bad the one day. So then I said to her, okay, I have got a lot of friends in Joburg. So I said to her, look, let me go to one of my friends. Maybe we can just spend the night there by them. So he's like, no, it's fine. She said, no, it's fine, baby, please, you know. So I went down there. The guy was unfortunately not in front of the house, but he's inside his bedroom. Now I had to go around to the bedroom to knock on his window to speak to him. My wife was therefore in front of the house, and the same people that robbed us was turned the house a couple of times. I mean, about twice before stopping. And when they stopped, my wife screamed, blue murder. So I thought there's something happening to her and my son. So I grabbed my knife out. I'm around the corner. I'm there by her. So she explained it to me what happened. So I said to her, listen here, baby, I'm not being funny, but in that time period, let's see if we can put some money together and come back to Cape Town. But let's go to the library first. Let's do some research.
Yeah.
So I did some research. I saw there was a couple of family shelters there on the internet.
Yeah.
Right? So I said to her, fine. let's see how much the bus tickets are. Let's come down.
Yeah.
So I made 1,000 rand. I got my son's diapers. I got his milk, whatever he needs for the trip and everything.
Yes.
Paid for the tickets and everything. Came down to Cape Town. Went straight down to social workers.
Yes.
I spoken to the social workers 3 days before Christmas, and I asked them, look, guys, can't you please help me? This is my situation. This is what I'm facing.
Yeah.
My family is not going to help me. Could you please help?
So what would you want them to help you with? As in, like, give you accommodation, or what is the option?
They were busy with organizing accommodation for us, but now the people that took my son, my 1 year old, a year and a month old son, what happened was they deserted us in Kensington. They actually didn't give us forms to sign. They didn't give us, ask us any medical history of my son. They didn't ask me what formula he's on. They literally took him without signing papers in the car and left and deserted us all the way in Kensington.
Those are the social workers.
This is social workers. Okay. This is social workers now.
Yeah.
Now, they said to me, now when we go to shelter, you will be placed in our care again.
Yeah.
Well, day before yesterday, we got a phone call to say that the application form has been declined because of the social workers don't want to hand over my son.
What is their excuse? Or
I actually asked them on the phone, like, what is your reason for that? They said to me they changed the subject completely. They didn't give me a reason.
So do you guys have a cell phone, or how do they get hold of you? Do they phone you?
There's a couple of people here in Sea Point that's been trying to stand by our side. They knows my son. Yeah. They actually fell in love with him. And everybody has been standing by us, trying to get him back, actually.
So is there locals, community members in Sea Point that are helping you?
Yes.
Okay.
So this lady...
Are they taking her or the child because of you guys living on the streets, or what is the reason?
It's because we've been living on the streets, but originally everybody at those four has said that they're not allowed to take your son without any reason.
Yeah, because you see many children on the streets with their parents, and it's fine. They get left alone.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And even drug addicts. I mean, there's a lot of drug addicts that sit here with their small children. Mm. There was a lady the other day gave her son burn, but theirs don't get taken away. Mm. I mean, my son, love him to bits. I go down, I'm asking for help for my wife. She's pregnant with my second child. Mm. She's 7 months pregnant. I'm thinking, okay, I need her safety. I need the child's safety. What am I going to do as a father and a husband? I need to get a shelter. So that's why I came down here, to get a shelter for them, so I can start looking for work and trying to get us back onto our feet to give them a better life.
So it almost feels like when you're on the street, there's almost no way to get off the streets again. It's almost like a cycle or like a system that you get stuck in, and then you can't get out. Almost.
No, there is a way that you can get out of it.
How does one get out then?
It depends on you. Look, at the moment, let me be honest with you, the majority of people that are on the streets are on drugs.
Yes.
Okay? My wife and myself aren't on drugs. We're actually a family that has been kicked to the curb by family members.
Yes, so this family is not supporting you. So
Nobody. Nobody's been supportive.
What do you think it is? Why are they not supportive? Like, what's wrong with this?
It's because, you see, I've been supporting my family since the age of 12 years old.
Okay.
When my wife entered my life, unfortunately, my wife opened my eyes to them. And she said to me that they're using you and abusing you. You know, it's about time that I actually stop and think of myself and my family.
Okay, so then you spoke up, and then they didn't like that when you suddenly had a voice. Okay, I see.
So I had that inner voice again, and I said to them, you know what? I will pay my way. I'll pay 1,000 rand for my month's rent and everything. But then I saw my mom and dad were struggling. They were, the electricity was more off than on, and it's prepaid. Was prepaid at the time. So now my belief is a woman needs to bath every single day. No, I'm sorry. I'm not one of the other guys.
I agree with that. Yeah.
So I made sure, I said to them, instead of me giving the money to them, let me take the stress off of their plate. So I said to them, okay, I'll take the electricity off your plate. I'll pay for the electricity as my rent. They said no, they're happy with it. And then they started scratching and stealing from us. I started supplying our food. I started supplying our cigarettes. I smoke cigarettes, I'll be honest with you. Okay, I started supplying our tea, coffee, whatever she wants, her luxuries, whatever. So when we go to bars at night, my mother and whoever is in the house go and actually steal other cigarettes or a sugar or a coffee. And I started seeing, because my wife felt unsafe at home with my family.
Yeah.
So she used to go down to me to the workshop. My boss was very pleasant. He was actually leaving the business to me and everything. And he didn't have a problem with her. She used to sit there, she used to mind her own business. But when we came home in the evenings, food-wise is short.
Yeah.
That's short. There's hardly any electricity, but I know how much I paid.
Yeah.
So I spoke up. I said to them, guys, what the hell is going on here? I mean, you guys are using my food. You guys are using my sugar, coffee, whatever the case may be. You're stealing out of my room now, because I used to have to literally take my sugar and my coffee and put it in my bag.
Yeah, okay.
So they started stealing from my bag.
Which is dishonest, yeah.
Dishonest, and
everywhere.
my mom didn't like it.
Oh, okay.
So when my boss originally, the guy that I worked for 4 years for, he passed away. So my parents kicked us out on the streets.
Okay.
So from there on, my mom has it in for us. So my mom wanted us to split from that time already.
Okay.
So now she's involving herself with the social workers, and I think that's why the social workers don't want to give me my son back. It's through my mom. But if I can get a job now, say in this month that my wife is before her labor, I can get us a place.
Yes. So what exactly did you say you did? What kind of work?
I'm a specialized motorbike mechanic for 5 years.
Okay. So if anyone would want to help you, they could just come here to, what is this, Engen in Sea Point, right?
That's correct.
Because I've seen you guys here for a couple of weeks now, right? How long have you been here?
How long we've been here now, babes? So, like
couple
I said,
of weeks. I think 2 weeks.
No,
Something like that.
it's longer.
Oh, is it? Okay. So if they wanted to help you, they could come here. Maybe if they have any work for you regarding that.
Look, I'm not asking for money.
Yeah, for work.
I'm looking for work and safety for my family.
And you're able to work, right? You're saying you're not addicted or there's
I'm not.
nothing like that.
If you guys want drug tests, I've got a drug test on me that I've recently done. I can prove that I am clean.
Okay. And what would you like people to know about living on the streets? Like, what is this?
Well,
what is it like?
It's not safe. You need to be aware. You need to always be cautious. You can't have your bags laying around. Otherwise, they're gonna steal from you constantly.
Yeah.
Your life is basically in danger constantly.
So you just sleep here or what? Like,
no, at the moment my wife and myself have been sleeping at the ocean itself, at Milton Beach.
Okay, at the beach. Yeah. And is it safer there?
Well, there's two sections. They mainly sleep. The people that's on the street mainly sleep on the toilet side. I take the far end where it's quieter, because then I can watch, because it's dark and it's. My wife, because they lock the toilets at night, so my wife can use the wherever she can.
Yeah.
So I do think of her and a privacy also.
Yeah. Okay.
So like limits. So it's very disappointing when you try to ask people for help, but then they look down at you. Yeah. Like just the other day, a guy invited myself and my wife to the corner bar.
Yeah.
To have a drink. Like for me, will have a drink, but I said to him I'll have a cool drink, because he wants to know our story.
Okay. So people are interested.
People are interested in our story.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to serve us because we're on the streets.
Oh, why? How is that a reason not to serve someone?
I don't know.
Sounds like discrimination. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a constant discrimination.
Yeah.
It's people that's looking bad at you, making a mockery out of you, but they don't know your story. They think you're on drugs, where, yes, I admit it, a lot of people are on drugs, but then you get a couple like myself and my wife that are actually desperate for just a little bit of help.
Yeah. Okay. So, and you're suggesting people help by giving you a job, right? Or giving you food, that kind of thing, or what else?
Look, like I said, I'm asking for a job. I'm asking for a shelter for my wife and my child.
Okay. And the social services, can they not help your wife because she is pregnant right now? Is there no system for that, or how does that work?
Okay, so the social worker's name is Fiona and Pam at DSD in Golden Acre in Cape Town, CBD. Yeah. They told my wife straight, they can split us up.
Okay.
But when the baby is born, they're gonna take the baby, and she's kicked out on the streets again.
So they take the baby then.
They take the baby, and she's kicked out on the streets again.
So you don't want to lose the baby, or what?
No,
obviously not, because you already lost.
We already lost one, and we're trying to fight for the first one.
Yes. Okay. I understand. Oh, okay. It sounds like quite a desperate situation, right? And what have you learned out of this whole story? What have you learned? What is the biggest lesson?
Well, that you can't trust anybody.
God, it seems like it, right?
You can't trust anybody, and you can't always follow your heart. You need to, if you want something done, you need to do it yourself.
No, there's almost like no help. Like there's almost like no.
That's what I mean.
But you're saying some people are quite kind on the streets, right? People have been standing up for you.
Look, we got a lot of support here in Sea Point, I'll be honest with you. There's a lady here at Patina's, there's the Snookies here.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a couple of other residents here in Sea Point that actually have been asking me, how's my son, where is he, when's he coming back, they're all missing. You know, and every time when I tell the story, I want to burst out into tears because, I mean, it's my son, it's my firstborn. And me and him have great bond together, and we've been through hell with him for the 2 weeks that he was in hospital.
And it's hard enough being on the streets, but now you got to be on the streets without him as well. So it's just even worse. It's compounding the issue.
It's actually, it's tearing my wife and myself apart. It's not, it's causing her to blame me. I'm blaming her.
Yeah, the relationship is suffering.
Our marriage is at the urge to break, actually.
Okay, I think that's all from us. Is there anything else you would like people to know about, you know, living on the streets, being this kind of situation that you're in? Anything else, you know, you can tell people, because people don't really know, you know, what it's like, and no one really talks to.
Look, to be honest, it's not a game.
And do you think you could easily then get off the streets? I mean, if someone gave you, for instance, accommodation and place to live, would it be easy for you then to change your lifestyle around?
Yes, it would.
Okay.
For us as parents, it will, because we're not used to this lifestyle.
Yes, okay. So I know some people have been on the streets for years. It's difficult for them to go back to a normal lifestyle. But you say for you guys it would be easy because this is abnormal to you.
This isn't normal to us. Look, we've gone through it about 2 years ago before my son was born, and we know how the struggle is.
Yeah.
We've been through it.
Okay.
But you know what? I do believe in God, and I know God's got a plan for us, and He won't let us suffer at the end of the day.
So
look, it's all a test in life.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so hopefully you can trust yourself, trust your own intuition, you know? If the lesson is you can't trust anyone else, trust your own intuition.
Exactly.
Yeah, trust. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. I think that's all from my side. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
What was your name again?
It's Aaron.
Aaron, that's right. Okay, thank you.